Banking Lesson 5: Why having multiple savings accounts is important. In this lesson, we're going to highlight the importance of having multiple savings accounts, which can make your financial life easier and less stressful. The average person has just one checking account and one savings account. However, the truth is that having just one savings account can actually make it harder to keep track of whatever it is that you're saving up for. When you open a savings account, you might have a specific goal in mind that you wanted to save up for. Or maybe you just like saving money to save money. However, if you keep all of your money in just one savings account, it might cause you some problems in the future. Having multiple savings accounts can help you manage your money with a specific savings plan on where it's going and why it's going there. It can help you stay motivated for different saving goals because you can see each account growing individually, and it can offer overdraft protection for your checking account if your account balance ever accidentally goes below zero. There are a lot of different reasons why you might want to have more than just one savings account. So let's go over the most common reasons why people have multiple savings accounts. An emergency account is one of those things you wish you'd had when things go wrong in life, like having your car's engine explode when you're driving down the highway, or your favorite animal gets ran over and it needs a super expensive life-saving surgery. The possibilities why you need an emergency fund are endless, so it's extremely important that you have one. An emergency fund is one of those things that people wish they'd saved up for while living at home, because once you move out, saving up this amount of money is extremely difficult. The big goal for an emergency fund is to save up 6 full months worth of bills. This would allow you to weather any financial hardships. We think the biggest benefit to having a large emergency fund, beyond just covering that unexpected emergency, is that it allows you the peace of mind knowing that if you absolutely hate your job, you can just walk away and do something else with your life that would make you a lot happier. Too many people get stuck at a job that they hate because they're financially trapped. Your mental health isn't worth being trapped at a job you hate, and some people classify that as an emergency also. A retirement account is another type of savings account that you need to have. These aren't going to work the same way as a regular savings account, but we're not going to go into too much on how retirement accounts work here, and we'll talk about those more in a future lesson. What you need to know for now is that it's important to save up for retirement. The younger you are when you start saving and investing in your retirement, the more money you'll have when you get old. Unfortunately, it's easy to put this one off, and it's pretty common for people to tell themselves that they aren't making enough money to start investing in their future. When you first start adulting on your own, you're usually pretty broke. You're not usually making very much money, and life is expensive. Your initial goal should be to try to put away 10% of your monthly income into a retirement account. If that's not realistic for your situation, you should set aside whatever you can. Even $25 or $50 a month makes a huge difference 40 years from now. The ideal amount to set aside for retirement is 15 to 20% of your monthly income, but that's not typically doable for someone just trying to get by on minimum wage. The third type of account is a fun stuff account, which just so happens to be my favorite type of savings account. This is one that you're going to use to save up for things like concerts, video games, prom, new snowboarding gear, or whatever it is that you like to do. It's important to have fun and do stuff you enjoy, but not let it break the bank. A travel account is another one of my favorites. Who doesn't love to travel? But trips are expensive, and it's a lot easier to travel when you plan ahead and save up over time rather than trying to pay for it all last minute. The fifth type of savings account is a birthday account. Birthdays happen every year, and some people spend a lot on them while others spend a little or nothing at all. But if you know this is going to be an expense you'll have to pay for multiple times throughout the year, then you can plan for it by saving up each month. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or you like buying gifts for your family and your friends, you'll save yourself a lot of stress if you know you have the money to buy a gift ahead of time rather than stressing out about how you're going to afford it. The sixth type of savings account is for Christmas or holidays. Christmas can be a stressful time of year for people, but if you set aside money every month, when December rolls around, you'll be able to enjoy the holiday knowing that you have a budget rather than trying to figure out how you're going to make it work and still pay all your bills. If Christmas isn't your thing, maybe you love fireworks and celebrating the 4th of July like I do. I really like it when things go boom. Or maybe you like to go all out with Halloween costumes and decorations. Who knows? Everybody has their thing. Or you don't, and you can just skip this one. The next type of account we're going to talk about is a short-term to medium-term savings goal account. Do you want a new car? Do you want to move out of your parents' house? Do you know how expensive that'll be? If you do or don't, you should definitely start saving for that now. First and last month's rent, a security deposit, plus furnishing the apartment, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars just to get the keys to your first apartment. Do you want to save for college or go to a trade school? Do you want to take a gap year after high school and travel the country or the world? This is the account where you'd save up for that. You might need more than one of these short-term saving goal accounts depending on how many things you're saving up for, and that's all right. Pro tip, you should link one of your savings accounts to your checking account as an overdraft protection feature. If your main checking account balance ever goes below zero, the bank is automatically going to transfer from your savings account to your checking account to prevent you from getting an overdraft fee. Keep in mind, you typically only get 6 transfers a month from a savings account before you get charged extra fees for going over the monthly transfer limit. Like I said earlier in this lesson, most people just have one savings account. Your savings goals can be difficult to track if all of your money is in the same account. Having multiple separate accounts can make tracking your goals easier. Keeping your savings account at different banks might be a good way to protect your savings from yourself. Out of sight, out of mind. A pro tip is that you could open your savings account at an online bank or a different local bank than you use for your regular checking account. You'll still be able to access the money, but having your savings account at a different bank will make it harder to spend. When you open a new account, you should look for one that doesn't charge you anything to park your money there. Most banks are going to offer free accounts for high school students. But what happens after you graduate? Will they continue to be free? Most likely not. So it's important to choose a bank that doesn't charge an account fee for storing your money with them. The last type of savings account we're going to talk about is a high yield savings account. These type of savings accounts have a higher interest rate than you would find on a traditional savings account. And people online try to hype up a high yield savings account like they're the greatest thing ever. And yeah, the interest rates that they provide are higher than the national average, but it's such a low amount that it doesn't even come close to keeping up with inflation. Now that you know about the most common reasons why people are setting up multiple savings accounts, the important thing you're going to want to do is find a bank that won't charge you fees for having multiple accounts. What really matters is the accounts are free, not just while you're in high school, but forever. When you're first getting started out, the reality is you probably aren't going to be making much money. You don't want to pay money to store your money when you're trying to save money. Here are some examples that might help you with setting some saving goals. If you put away $25 per month for 12 months, you'd have $300 saved at the end of those 12 months. If you put away $50 per month for 12 months, you'd have $600 saved. And if you put away $100 per month for 12 months, you'd have $1,200 saved. Start wherever you can because everybody's financial situation is going to be different. However, if there was an order of operations for which savings accounts you should fund first, putting money into an emergency fund should always be your top priority. When you eventually move out of your parents' house, your future self will thank you for planning ahead. Life doesn't always go smoothly, and having a financial cushion will help you stay self-sufficient rather than asking mom and dad for help, or worse, paying for an emergency with a credit card. If you have a job and you're living at home, this is the easiest time in your life to build your savings accounts. You can grow savings way faster when you don't have any bills to pay for. When you eventually move out, you'll be less stressed and life will be more enjoyable because you planned ahead. In this lesson, you learned why having separate savings accounts is important and a lot of different reasons why you will want to save your money. Separating those reasons into different accounts makes it easier to track your progress and stay motivated. Depending on your spending habits, you may need to put your savings account at a different bank to protect them from yourself. And in the next lesson, we will go into what's required for you to actually open these accounts.